Hello everyone, this is Naresh IAS Academy digital platform for the IAS mains exam. This is the next topic on general studies question paper 2. UPSC have mentioned 4 topics in the international relations. The first topic is India and its neighbors. Second topic, bilateral, regional and the global groups and participation of India and impact of these groups. And next topic is agreement between developed and the developing countries and impact over India. The last topic is international agencies like World Bank, International Monetary Fund and WTO, World Health Organization, UNICEF, UNESCO, ECOSOC. There are so many international organizations. The first topic now I am going to discuss, this is India and its neighbors. You may contact for offline classes, we are running at the Jaipur centers. Mainly there are two dimensions. One is the direction of India's foreign relationship, in which I will explain the concept of look east policy, and the look west policy. Now the look east policy is called Act East policy since the 2014. UPSC have asked so many questions from these topics. And the second part is the evaluation. Evaluation, the achievements of the India's foreign policy, shortcomings and the new initiatives. This is the first topic of the syllabus, India and the neighbors. The first thing you must know, India or any country when prepare its foreign policy, generally it has the three aspects. We can understand this through the globe. The foreign policy is more sensitive with their neighbors and the degree of sensitivity is decreased when we away from the neighboring countries. At the globe, India lies in the Asian continent, so the foreign policy mainly focused over the Asian continent and its nation. And among the Asian nation, the foreign policy target the neighbors. So, Indian foreign policy is more sensitive towards its neighbors or the country of Asian continent than the North American, South American and European continent. So, any country consider these aspects. So, the directions of India's foreign policy generally derived from this aspect. The topic has broad approach. Simply I will suggest you how to complete the topic. You first start reading or understanding what is the determinant factor of India's foreign policy and internal or outer factors, how much extent they have affected the India's foreign policy, what kinds of objectives and goals are determined, and the development of India's foreign policy since the Nehru era to the present time and different challenges, emerging challenges before the foreign policy. There are two directions, look east policy and the look west policy, and this is mainly related to the Asian continents. Look east policy now is called the act east policy. It means now India have to play the proactive role than the earlier, and the look east policy started during the Prime Minister Narasimha Rao in 1991, and this was the time when Cold War was ended. Cold War started from 1945, just after the Second World War, or with the parallel of Second World War for some time, and when the United States of Soviet Russia, USSR, was disintegrated in 1991, with this the Cold War was itself ends. So the look east policy have its political roots or ideological roots in the disintegration of USSR and the end of Cold War period. Look east policy mainly emphasize those countries have a common maritime boundary in Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal, like Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia and Thailand and Myanmar. So these countries have a historical or the significant relationship with India in the past. So now India is trying to be a part of association of these groups, which is known as the ASEAN. Look east policy mainly depend upon the two factors. One is economic factors or second is the strategic factors. Economic factors means these countries have sound economies and they have the advanced technologies, modern means of productions and large share of the investment. At the economic fronts, India have attracted FDI most of from the Singapore and Malaysia, and also India have established free trade agreements or relationship with the Thailand and the other economic corridors with these countries, and also Indian companies are investing in these countries and the multinational companies of these countries are targeting the India, and the Indian goods are reaching in these countries, and India or its commodities are getting the closer markets, and the peoples of these markets are mainly like the Indian goods and commodities, and this is the import and export table of India. Total international export of India and its 30% part is covered with these countries. So this is the economic relationship of India with these countries, and India now is trying to establish free trade agreement or the broader economic cooperation agreement with the specific countries just like Thailand and Vietnam. So in future we hope a major development at the economic front, and India will get most of FDI economic cooperation from these countries, and Indian market or economy will enlarge with the help of and technology of the Laos, Vietnam and Cambodia and Singapore and their companies. At the strategic front, we can discuss India have maritime boundary in Indian Ocean and Bay of Bengal. So it is a direct challenge from the Indian territorial integrity and unity. That's why it is a compulsion to maintain healthy relationship with these countries. For example, India have started a joint army exercise with the Singapore, which is called the SIMBEX, and we have established the naval operation with these countries in the Indian Oceans, and India have become the member of ASEAN Regional Forum ARF, which is a one segment of ASEAN groups, and India is also trying to establish a security council for maintaining security measures in the maritime boundaries, so that any outer country could not create any kinds of difficulties or challenges with the India and the other neighboring countries. So definitely the Indian geography, or we can say the geopolitics, have bounded India to maintain a strategic or the defense relationship with these countries. Recently the Indian army have attracted or obtained the so many weapons and the modern technologies from these countries, and also we have supplied some equipments and tools for these countries, and now we are cooperating at the defense sector, in the missile sectors and the space sectors too, and definitely it will enhance finally the security measures of India. So you have to discuss the look east policy under the economic and the strategic scenario. The look west policy. Look west policy mainly targets the Middle East Asian countries in the Asian continent, like the Syria, Lebanon, or Turkey, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arab, because these countries have the large resources of hydrocarbon, the crude oils, LPG gas, petroleums, and India only produce 30% hydrocarbons to their indigenous production. So definitely India is a large importer of the hydrocarbons. So this is our compulsion or necessity to maintain such kinds of relationship. So then these countries are geographically very close to India, so we can minimize the transportation cost, and so that India have targeted the look west policy, ensuring the energy security, and we have to maintain the energy independence in future. So definitely the policies have the different ideologies, but there are some common factors. There is the economic factor is also included in the look west policy. Cultural aspects are also the part of the both policies. Okay, so this is the direction of India's foreign policy towards the Asian continents only. When India maintains foreign relationship with the North American continent, South America, European continent, then where purely commercial relationship are discussed, give and take theory is completely applicable. The second part of the India's and its neighboring policy is to maintain healthy relationship. Gujarat Doctrine was introduced in 1997. This was the I.K. Gujral. Indra Kumar Gujral had been the Indian Prime Minister during 1997 to 1998. This was his prime ministership. Prime Minister Gujral introduced a set of 5 principles to maintain healthy relationship with its neighbors. And the most important point of this doctrine is India do not call for reciprocity. It means if India is providing some facilities to Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Maldives, to never expect same treatment or same exchanges from those countries. If India expect the same, so definitely it will be difficult to maintain. Geographically, economically, India is a large country in the South Asia. So that's why Gujral Doctrine emphasized over the non-reciprocity and Indian foreign policy is maintaining this doctrine. But when we evaluate the Indian foreign policy according to their achievements and the failures, so we can say Indian foreign policy have so many achievements. We have maintained the foreign relationship, we have established embassies in these countries, the movement of peoples have increased, investment also have got the important places in these countries. The peoples and companies of these countries are investing in India, and also India is doing the same in these countries, and the so many achievements. But when we talk about the goals of India's foreign policy, we have to maintain India's national unity and integrity. And we can say, according to Gujarat doctrine, we have not completely safe. Still we are facing so many challenges from the side of Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So, the concept of non-reciprocity is not a good indicator. So definitely we have to revise and we have to add some additional point with this, so that we can maintain the healthy relationship. Definitely we must continue this principle. We have get some informal achievements. Second, at the international level, India's foreign policy targets to maintain international peace, security and stability. And recently, or from the last 2 or 3 decades, we have closely seen there is a quite disturbance at the international level. It may be either due to the uh, border disputes or disputes among the nations at the political fronts, it may be a currency war or crisis at the economic levels. So, the foreign policy have not completely succeeded to maintain international peace, security and stability. So, these important challenges are still continuing. So, definitely we must add some additional point with the Gujarat doctrines. Second, the development of India's foreign policy. We have to trace the development from the India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru to the present time. During the Nehru era, what were the main goals and mechanism for the introduction of foreign policy, and what kind of changes have been done in the present time. So, we have to identify the development and the directions, and how much extent we have deviated from the Nehru era to the present time. So, definitely now India is getting maximum support, or simply trying to balance India's relationship with Russia and America, France and Britain. Definitely it is not too easy task. However, India is introducing itself to maintaining this relationship. And last, the new emerging challenges before the India's foreign policy. What kind of challenge we have to face in future? Definitely the neighbors countries are playing the double role. They are getting sufficient financial economic cooperation support from India. However, they are influencing from the China, Pakistan and the other countries. So, it may be a great challenge or threat before India in the next centuries. Now, India should prepare and make its strategy how to tackle these scenario in the future. So, we have to start our preparation from today. And next, the challenges emerging through the global economies. Could India maintain healthy relationship with America and the European countries and Russia? Will Russia compel India to quit its policies towards the America, or America will pressurize India to reduce their intensity of relationship with Russia So definitely it will be a challenge before India how to balance its relationship with America and Russia. So many challenges we have to face in future. So before the 100 years we must have the far-sightedness, and now we should start our preparation. So this is some guidelines to cover these topics. For detailing, you may contact us, and through the some videos I will explain the each and every aspect of India's foreign relationship. Okay, thank you.